Right, tomorrow it starts. Right then. It's the opening night, week one in Newcastle for the Premier League of Darts in week one tomorrow. Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video, folks. Today we are predicting the Premier League night one of the Premier League of Darts of the 2026 Premier League of Darts in Newcastle. So eight players, eight best players in the world, and also two debutants in Gian and Veen and Luke and Josh Rock. So before we get into YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button. First up tomorrow, the 2026 Premier League Darts kicks off with debutant Josh Rock taking on 2021 winner Jonny Clayton. Josh Rock making his Premier League debut after a year which saw him break into the world's top 10 in the world, with highlighted being the World Cup of Darts glory alongside fellow Northern Irishman Daryl Gurney. The 24-year-old won 2 matches at the World Masters over the weekend before losing to eventual champion Luke Littler in the quarterfinals. In contrast to Rock, Jonny Clayton is well accustomed to the Premier League, with the Welshman returning for his 4th stint as a full-time competitor. He was also a contender in the 2020 event, but champion in 2021. The Ferret has reached the playoffs in all 3 of their previous entries and was a consistent performer on the TV stage last year. Head-to-head stands at 6-5 to Rock in terms of career meetings, and a newcomer will be keen to make a strong start to his debut campaign. And Clayton is playing some solid darts though, but we are expecting a close encounter that goes over 9.5 legs. So I'm going for Josh Rock to win it 6 legs to 4. Up next, the Newcastle crowd are treated to a repeat of the World Championship final as the quarterfinal stage, as Luke Littler and Gian van Veen resume their Bongery rivalry. Burgeoning rivalry. This is absolutely no doubt that Luke Littler has now established himself as the man to beat in any given event. Only recently turned 19, the phenomenal defending his world title at the beginning of the year, defeating his next opponent Gian van Veen in the Ali Pali final, 7th Ali Pali final. The Nuke is also coming off the back of a sensational 6-5 victory over the world number 2 Luke Humphries in the final on the World Masters on the weekend, and with his opponent even going as far as saying that the youngster is already in the GOAT conversation. Premature though those claims may be, Littler is no doubt playing some incredible darts right now, and you have to think that he has the physiological edge over Van Veen following his 7-1 rout in the world final. He also defeated the Dutchman in the Saudi Arabia Darts Masters a few weeks back. Van Veen was also whitewashed 5-0 by Humphries in the semi-finals of the World Masters on Sunday, which may have further dented his confidence somewhat. With these factors in mind, we're expecting the world champion to hit the most 180s in victory. I'm going for Littler to win it 6 legs to 3. And then third up, the reigning champion Luke Humphries faces the Welshman Gerwyn in both players' 2026 Premier League Darts opener. Champion in 2025, Luke Humphries begins the defence of his Premier League crown in the immediate aftermath of a heartbreaking defeat to Luke Littler in the final of the World Masters over the weekend. Despite boasting a superior average and checkout percentage to the youngster, but the world number 2 was on the receiving end of a 6-5 loss in what was the latest chapter in the rivalry of the namesakes. First up for Humphries is Newcastle. It's Gerwyn, who has also been playing some excellent darts of late, but indeed the Welshman was a semi-finalist in Milton Keynes, losing narrowly to Littler, missing a match dart in the process. Price made the Premier League semi-finals last year, while he was also runner-up in 2023. The Iceman hasn't always thrived in this event though, finishing outside the top 4 on 5 occasions. both are playing well right now, you have to give the edge to Humphries, who will be hungry to make a strong start after his bitter weekend defeat. I'm going for Humphries to win it 6-5. And then last up, Stephen Bunting against Michael van Gerwen. Seven-time champion Michael van Gerwen begins his latest Premier League campaign against the world number 7, Stephen Bunting. A somewhat controversial pick for this year's Premier League. Stephen Bunting probably feels like he has something to prove at this year's event, especially after finishing 8th last year, after going winless in the first 8 weeks. The Bullet hasn't necessarily started the year well, though, most recently losing in the second round of the World Masters on Saturday, averaging under 90 in a whitewash defeat to Danny Noppert, and the perennial Premier League participant, 7-time champion Michael van Gerwen remains top contender despite not being at his absolute peak of his powers. But the Dutchman was desperately disappointed to finish outside the playoffs last year, which was only the second time he has fallen short in his unlucky number 13 entries. It was the positive start to the year for MVG, though. He's won the Bahrain Darts Masters and reached the final of an ignoreal Saudi Arabia Darts Masters a week later. A first round defeat at the World Masters does raise some concerns, losing out to Damon Heta, but we think he'll be pumped up for his opening match. The Dutchman defeated Bunting at both of the aforementioned World Series events in January, but another win beckons here. I'm going for Van Gerwen to win 6-4. That's my predictions then for the Premier League night 1 in Newcastle. Leave on your comments below and we'll see you in the next one. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Peace out. Good night.